Hello gamers, today we are going over Yinlin's kit, how to play her, how her secret kit works, and what is her use. We're going to be going over her skills, her dupe copies, and all that stuff, so make sure you stick around till the end.
No rush.
We have her basic attack, which is 4 left clicks. The animation on each of these skills are purely amazing. Heavy attack is a spinning move like this. And then we have jump air attack, the splits. And we have the resonance skill, which is her E skill. So she slams the floor once like this. It doesn't really explain what it does, but I will show you what it does later. So now we do the combo with E.
No mercy.
And left click, and then left click with E. I mean, it does sound like a basic combo, but there's actually more happening in the background that we can't really see because we're targeting one mob. Now we do heavy attack, and then left click, and left click. So most people won't probably know what just happened, but let me explain in a second. All right. Now we reached the training limit. Now we're gonna do it in the normal scenario. So this bar right here in the bottom actually goes up. That is gonna be your main off damage support. We're gonna push this mob all the way close to the others, and then you will see that my puppet on the field only has 1 string attached, right? But if I tag these 3. And now it has 4 strings attached and it has this purple circle on it. Which means if I hold my left click and trigger my forte skill, now I can AoE everyone and they don't need to be hit together. I can hit this guy, it will automatically AoE everyone. This also works if you have people outside of your party. If I were to swap Yinlin out right now, everyone would still be taking damage as long as I attack any mob. It could be this one or the other one and stuff like that. Now, if this bar is not built on Yinlin, you could also naturally AoE on Yinlin by pressing the E skill, and the tether will go red. Now everything's red, which means you have AoE. And after the combo ends, you can use E again to finish the combo. Oh, okay, now we initially E again. And then finish it off with the E. So they don't really tell you that. Now we're back to tethering. We have these 3 tethered, right? But we're not tethered to this one. So if I were hold my left click, boom, we only tethered 3 of them because we only initially attacked these 3. Now the thing that makes it powerful is you can swap characters and still do damage with Yinlin, which is gonna be crazy because there's no limit on how many people you can tether. You can tether up to like 5 or more, right?
Time to wrap it up.
As for her ult, I think her ult same works as her E with tethering. So now you see that I have everyone tethered. Okay, now I have those tethered.
No time to waste.
And then if I press E, once again, press E, the tethers become red, which means I can AoE, right? After that ends, press E again, and the combo. And then while everyone's still tethered, I hold left click, boom, everyone's tethered once again. And when they're tethered like this, when they have the mark, that means anyone outside of Yinlin can do the AoE connect attacks together, which I will show in the second part of the video. Alright, now in this situation, we're going to tag everyone with the left click, and then we're going to do our heavy left click to mark everyone. So we mark this one, we mark that one, mark that one. Mark them all. Okay, we mark everyone because we have the tether as shown, right? Now we hold left click. Now that we marked everyone, we could go with this character who does like no damage, right? She's like doing 33 damage, but since Verina's in the party, everyone's still taking AoE damage even though Yinlin's inside, not even in the field. So that's one of the nice things about Yinlin. And you can also press her E skill to charge up that bar faster. So Yinlin is a very good character. Like I feel like she's gonna be a very good running character for the whole end game. Boom, all tagged. Now we AoE everything. Easy. All right, now let's go over to Constellation. So our first constellation is when Resident Skill Thunder Summoning hits a target with a Sin Binding mark, the damage is increased by 70%. This is pretty good, right? Because all of her skills revolve around binding the target, marking them, and stuff. The damage of Judgment attack is increased by 100%, and additional 5 Judgment values are recovered when hit. So Judgment attack is also very good, right? Because that's what happens when someone's marked. Punishment mark can be triggered once every 0.75 seconds, and the damage of Judgment Thunder is increased by 50%. So this means the punishment mark, like, you know how often there's a cooldown in between the Judgment Lightning when they're marked, when you attack them? This makes it so that it decreases, that it triggers more often, which is very huge. Always. So very good, very good. Also very good. And then we have Resonance 4. After casting the Resonance Liberation, Breaking Thunderstrike, the attack of characters in the team is increased by 20% for 12 seconds. So not only you buff yourself, but you buff everyone in your team of 3 by 20%. If you partner this up with Baizu or Verena, the other healer in my team, you're gonna get like 20 to at least like maybe 40% attack buff for everyone. That's insane. So 2 supports, 1 DPS maybe. And then so the next Resonance skill we have, when the Resonance Liberation Breaking Thunder Strike hits a target with a Sin Binding mark and Punishment mark, the damage is increased by 100%. So that's like 2 marks. So you can mark them with the left click, then you give them the mark with the holding LMB, then you mark them with the E skill, and you just, man, the damage just goes crazy. So after casting the Resonance Revelation Breaking Thunderstrike, when Yinlin's basic attack hits a target with a punishment mark, it will additionally trigger Judgment Thunder. Each basic attack can trigger once, and the state lasts for 10 seconds, can be triggered up to 4 seconds. Additional Judgment Thunder? Oh my goodness. So instead of like triggering 1 Judgment Thunder, it'll be more Judgment Thunder. That's... all of these makes her sound really, really strong. I believe she's probably going to be like high tier in the SS or triple S rank, because 1, she's always going to be constant. She's going to be always constantly like she's going to be constantly going to be doing uptime damage in your party, right? So that's pretty wild. As for her solo damage, I feel like her kit doesn't really do too much damage solo wise as other DPS characters. For example, like Rover is insane solo damage. Rover can like solo most of the end game content. You can solo all the way a hologram 6 with just Rover alone. But I'm not sure if I'm feeling that kind of damage output for Yinlin yet, given we have a decent echo set on her, right? 630 damage or 7 crit rate. If this was all high rolls, we would have like 800 attack, 50 to 50% crit and some crit damage, but we didn't get high roll. One of the unique things about her nodes is her nodes give crit chance increase instead of elemental damage. So compared to like Danjin, you get havoc damage, and then for like this character, healing bonus for her. But Rover, we get elemental damage. But for Yinlin, for some reason, it keeps raising her crit chance. So this is really good. At the same time, it could be a little bit of a downside, because you will have to get lots of we'll have to get echoes solely focused on elemental damage, electro damage 3-piece, and you can only get electro damage from the 3 cost sets. Now let's go over the middle tree, which is usually like hidden passives you can learn. After using the Resonance skill Magnetic Roar, the critical hit rate is increased by 50%. So Magnetic Roar is the E skill when you use it once. The damage of Resonance skill Lightning Execution hitting a target with Sin Binding mark is increased by 10%. So that's when you press E again, the Lightning Execution. Or it could be the mark of the Lightning Execution. So When you attack mobs
No
with
mercy.
E, you tag them with a red binding mark, and then when you press E again, you make it explode. So it's pretty interesting, the whole how this whole kit works for this character. But generally, like if you're gonna be running those teams where you need a team from each side or multiple floors, like Abyss Tower or Tower to Death, I mean, it's gonna be really good to run her. She's also easy to level up because her kit uses bells, which is not locked by a weekly claim reward. Unlike DPS characters like Rover, you have to fight Scar, which is locked behind a weekly claim limit. You can only claim 2 a week at this current level in Union level 40. But as for her upgrades, it only costs Bell, and you could do that any time of the day you want, as long as you have stamina. Lastly, we'll go over her intro and outro. So intro is when she goes into combat. This is when she kicks her pet into the face of the enemy. The damage is kind of low for the intro skill, so I didn't really upgrade it this time around. And then her outro skill is electro damage is increased by 20%, liberation damage bonus is increased by 25%. The effect lasts for 14 seconds of the character. So this means that when you exit her in the party, her damage will increase by 20%, or the person that swapped in, where damage will increase by 20%, and whoever that lightning character is, their ultimate damage also will increase by 25%. So this makes team building around her. If you want to build a mono team, you could add Uncle Yu on Wu, or if you have if we have Kalchuro, we could add him because Kalchuro or Kakarot is a very strong lightning character. And I think that should be all the important things you need to know about her kit and what's like, her constellation. Obviously you want to build her Void Thunder for Echo Set. Focus the same way you would build a DPS character. And I think I covered everything other than, you know, these description of these things, but I explained this at the beginning, so which they don't really explain in the tutorial what each skill does and the special things. Well, if you guys found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe. This is your brother, Steparu, out.